Selfless work in serving the labor movement and advocating for higher wages, better benefits, education and training, and safer workplaces for your members and all working families. For your impressive career as an organizer, business agent, and manager in the International Lady Garment Workers Union, Unite and Unite Here. For your exceptional leadership of a union that fights for workers in warehouses, distribution centers, as clothing and textile producers, as well as in retail, laundry, and service industries. For your efforts to protect your members in the broader labor movement in stemming the disruptive and harmful effects of globalization and free but not fair trade. For your tireless work fighting for union members day in and day out, helping dislocated workers access the benefits, training, information, and services that literally reestablish the livelihoods of those who have suffered layoffs and helping them recapture the dignity that comes with an honest day's work. For your dedication and unwavering partnership to the Massachusetts labor movement by working with unions from every sector and region across the Commonwealth. For your devotion to making sure labor plays a strong role in important governmental and workforce development bodies, serving as an effective voice for labor on the Massachusetts Workforce Investment Board. For your commitment to epitomizing the virtues of the labor movement by remaining fiercely loyal to your members and to the mission of your union, showing incredible personal courage and solidarity no matter the national trends or whims, and despite local and national mergers and separations, and for your years of service and leadership as an indispensable Vice President on the State Federation's Executive Council, presented June 23, 2011, Robert J. Haynes, President, Louis A. Mandarini, Jr., Secretary Treasurer. Warren Pepicelli.
New York was
2.5 minutes.
Wow. To be up here with such heavy hitters in the labor movement, such giants, is such an honor. John and I go back, as he said earlier, a long way. An arbitrator, a mediator, who's balancing the differences between labor and capital. And Jen, every time I look at Jen, I think of her kind words in the middle of our internal strike and our internal civil war. And those words, every time I see her, I think of those words. It just shows you the power of language. And to my long time friend who took me under his wings when I was just a little boy and tried desperately to teach me how to be cool under pressure. I can't tell you that I've learned it, but he tried to teach me that. Don is absolute mensch. He is a fantastic lawyer and a really good person. So I'm really honored to be up here with you. I cannot, in good conscience, receive this award for myself. I receive it in behalf of my membership. My membership has been the canary in the cave. They were the first to lose their job through globalization. Thousands of jobs leaving the United States. They were the first to be asked to take reductions in their pay. Most people don't realize in the 50s, we actually were paid higher than construction workers. We were the first to take cuts in benefits and pensions. And when the leadership of the union said we need to organize other industries, they didn't moan. They understood there was a bigger mission here. They understood what a labor movement was about, and they pulled themselves up, even though their jobs are gone, and supported organizing other workers in other industries. They really are the recipients of profile and courage, as far as I'm concerned. The labor movement is a movement of collective force. And there are many people behind the scenes who help a labor union function. And for me, I received this award on behalf of them. First, my good friend Richard Ramalt, who is a manager in New York, also stood up in the middle of this fight. Stood up for our values, stood up for workers, and showed tremendous courage. He gave me the backbone that I needed with 2-hour conversations every day on the phone. I'm blessed to have a fantastic law firm, and I'm not going to say something about each lawyer in that law firm. But one person stands out, Shelley Crow, who is not just a great lawyer, but a fighter, a soldier in the war for justice. She would counsel our joint board and talk to me every single day about staying on course and remembering our values. I'm deeply indebted to her, her friendship, and it's somebody that really should be acknowledged. And on behalf of this award, as far as I'm concerned, I share this with Shelley Crow. I love her too. I hope my wife isn't going to yell at me tonight.
I love Shelley too, honey.
Paul Shannon is not here. He's a dear friend of mine, a lifelong fighter for justice. Tim Costello has passed away, unfortunately, a true intellectual working class guy who helped us navigate through the Civil War. And Mike Fidel, who I don't see here today, I share this award with these people. In addition to that, my staff headed up by Sam Jaleo. In the middle of a civil war, it's sister against sister, brother against brother, and friend against friend. It was not easy for us to take the stand that we did. We weren't against our friends, though. We were standing for our values. And the staff did not always get to this point all at the same time, but at the end we arrived at the same place. I'm deeply indebted to their loyalty in serving our great membership. Now, we learned a lot of lessons in this fight. We learned about the power of the narrative. We learned about the power of truth. We also learned lessons about leadership. We learned that listening is a very important tool for leaders. We learned to have tolerance for differences of opinions. These were great lessons, and the lessons of patience, of allowing people to digest the facts and arrive at their own conclusion. These are really important lessons to learn. This struggle also gave us an opportunity to look and reflect on the strategies that we were using and really critique it. And finally, it gave us an opportunity to look at our values once again. To ask ourselves, why are we here today? Why are we in the labor movement? because sometimes we forget that struggle, that internal fight, that Civil War gave us that opportunity. These lessons that we have learned are lessons that can help us now in this time of crisis. There has never been, since the Great Depression, such pain, such suffering, such injustice for working men and women in this country and across the globe. Never has there been such attack against the institution of a union. We have to respond. They have a narrative. That narrative they repeat over and over again in the television, in the media, in the newspapers, in the talk shows. They repeat the narrative over and over again. There's no money. Pay more for your health care. Work faster and faster. You're the problem. You're not the solution. They repeat this narrative to such a degree that sometimes it even enters into our own consciousness about, yes, we're going to have to pay much more for our health insurance. This narrative is an economic narrative that's failed. There is money. We have our priorities off kilter. Our values are upside down.